Hi, ladies. Well, it's raining today. This is the first time I've seen rain since probably June. I know it rained here sometime at the beginning of August, but we were up north and I didn't see it. So it's nice to see. So let's get on with the cards. So this is the first of the 3 August club cards. And the one we're going to make today, or this in this video, is this one. It uses mint macaron, soft seafoam, and white, and the new floral frame stamp set, and the matching foliage frame dies, and a stitched circle. Okay, so get things organized here. Put the card down so that it's still in the frame so you can still see what I'm doing. Okay, and this is the envelope. And that's the inside. And I chose not to put color around here, but I will have the marker at the class if you want to do that. I'll just get it because it's not on my list and I need to put it in there. Okay, so we have the instructions. We have a thick Whisper White card base, 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half. A piece of Whisper White for the inside and a piece of Whisper White for the outside, and they're 5.25 by 4, so it doesn't matter which one you use. A piece of Whisper White that's 2.5 by 2.5, and that's to do the circle. And then another piece, 2.5 by 2.5, to do the 2 flowers, and there's dies to cut those out. And a piece of soft seafoam, 2 3/4 by 4.25, to cut out the die cut. And your envelope. Okay. So off camera, I ran a piece of Whisper White cardstock through the subtle embossing folder. It's a dynamic one, so you only need the plate on the top, the clear plate. You don't need the clear plate on the bottom. And this is what it does. I'm hoping you can see it. It is very subtle, but I love how it just gives texture. It doesn't give much to the background. I also love something new that Stampin' Up! Has started doing with their embossing folders. Do you see this line here? That gives you something to line up to. So when you have an embossing folder like this one that has definite direction to it, and you don't want to get crooked lines unless that's the look you're going for, all you have to do is just line it up on that line. Oops. Like that. And it's straight. Isn't that cool? And all it is just like a line at the bottom. Who knew? So that's the subtle embossing folder, and I've already done that. So I'm just going to, it doesn't matter which side you use. It's kind of ambidextrous. It's just whichever side you decide you like the most. Oh, I can tell I haven't done this in a while. It's been a while since I made cards. I have been doing cards from the Christmas catalog. I have a few of those made up for my tea party coming up on Wednesday. And then I met with my friend Barb yesterday and we exchanged projects. She makes 2 of each of her projects and I make 2 of each of my projects, and then we get together and share. It's kind of like a swap, so that way I get twice as many projects and with just half of the work. Kind of cool. Okay, so this is the foliage frame dies that match the floral frames stamp set. And we're going to use the die that matches this, but not the stamp for it. And I just chose not to do that. And then we're going to use these 2 images. And I'm going to use this one, but this one and this one will be at the class if you want to use that instead. So this is how I store my dies. Let me get one of the sheets. So I get these from Dollar Tree. They're in the craft section. They're a magnetic sheet. They have adhesive on the back. You can pull a liner off and use it, but I don't. I just leave the adhesive there. And one sheet, it's sticking together. One sheet does one of these, and I just cut off the excess, and then I save that for something because apparently I'm a hoarder. So this is what I use. It's $1.25, and I've tried other ones, but they're too flimsy. This one has got some substance to it, so it doesn't flop around when it's inside or outside. So that's what it is. And I was up there last weekend to the local one and got a bunch. There was a whole bunch on the rack. They sell out quite quickly, so. Okay, shut up and get stamping. Okay, we're going to use this die. We're going to use this die, and we're going to use this die. And look at that. I just noticed there's a pearl sitting there. Oh, left the adhesive on there. That's pretty cool. These things. So this is a new tool that's coming in the Christmas catalog. It's called, I don't know, it's a pickup tool. And it has sticky putty on the end, so when you get it on there, you pick it up and it sticks there. So you'll be able to put it down where you want it and it doesn't go anywhere. And it has more sticky putty inside. You just twist it to make it bigger if that stops being sticky, and you can get refills. On the other end, it has a pokey tool and a scraper tool that I don't quite know what you would use it for, but it's there. And it also, they just clips in there, and then it has a cover. It also comes with a couple of, there it is, comes with a couple of stylus ends as well that you can put in this end. And it comes with a refill of the putty, and you can buy these refills too when you run out. So that's a new tool coming. I'm going to leave it out so that I remember to use it for the pearls that we're going to put on there. Alright, so I'll put this away. And we're going to use one of the stitch circles, and it's number 2, and I count from the inside, so we're going to use that one. And because this stamp set is not clear, I'm just going to, I might as well do all of my cutting at the same time. So I'm just going to stamp the sentiment. And now that's ready to cut out with that. And I'm going to stamp the flowers. That's one of them. And the other one. Okay, those of you that get these in the mail, some of this work is already done for you. So let's get that out of the way. That's ready to go. Put this on here, line it up. You can use washi tape or a sticky or something to hold these in place if you want. No, they're not both going to cut at the same time because I stamped them too close together, but that's okay. I'll just run them through separately. So hang on while I do this. Uh-oh, it moved. Uh-oh, it moved. Well, that wasn't very smart. Okay, so let me get another piece of that cardstock out. And I'll just recut that because apparently I don't know what I'm doing. Add that back on there. And that one cuts. Do this one. Put this on, make sure everything is covered now. Man, you can sure tell I haven't done this for a while. We went up north in the beginning of August to see the northern grandchild, and I did take crafty stuff with me because I was working on Christmas projects. Okay, I'm just gonna put, why not? I was gonna put them away, but then I just remembered that I'm gonna keep stuff out for class, so hang on. Sorry. And I just want, this is the ends of the magnetic sheets that I cut off. And I like using them in my, when I put my class stuff into my basket. That way they're not flopping all over the place. Okay, and I forgot to do this one, so I'm gonna run that one through real quick. And when I do it, I want it centered because I got a flower on the top and a flower on the bottom. If you're going to invest in any of the dies that are not specific to a die set, like ones that are more for general use, this is the one that you need to get. The stitch shapes. So you get ovals, circles, and squares. When you get them, the squares are on one side of the paper, and the circles and ovals are on the other side. So before you throw away your packaging, make sure you take these ones out. And you get 12 in all, 12 dies, and they all have stitched edges on them. Okay. There we go. In the basket, get out some dimensionals. This one I'm going to throw away. I don't know what they've done to these dies, but man, they're nice. They don't stick. They don't stick in inside the paper doesn't stick inside the dies anymore. I'm just putting some tape on the back of the hello. And I'm going to put this on here the way I want it, and I think I'm going to angle it a bit more than the last one. That's just so I know where to put the hello. Because you don't want the hello to be like that or like that. Well, I guess you could. You can also do this card side this way if you want. Hey, let's do that. Why not? Okay. Get some dimensionals on here. My scissors. I want some little pieces to put on the... I wonder if this is going to work with this stuff, or is it... No. Because this has got a liner on it, that pickup tool is not going to work on it. There we are. Backs off. I hope these videos aren't too painful to watch. While I do all this finicky stuff, I've just decided that I'm going to put a little tiny piece of on those two leafy things. Because I don't want them to get caught and rip off. And I'll just put a little one on there too while I'm at it. Get it off of my finger now. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to orient the card this way this time. Make sure my hello is straight-ish. There we are. Now, these just go flat, and I think I'll put, let's see, because I've turned this now, these are going to go in a different spot. I've turned this thing a little bit. So put some adhesive on the back here, and I'm not putting it all over because some of it's going to be hanging off the edge, and I don't want it to go down and stay down. Whoops, come back here, tape. Now some pearls. Look at that. Look at how easy that is. Yay! So all I did was I just loosened it from the backing and then picked it up with the new tool and put it right down. Oh, ladies, you're gonna love this. Just think, no more issues with putting sequins on or rhinestones or little, you know how when I get carried away and do a die cut and then put other colors inside the die cut? This is gonna be cool for that. Okay, so there's the front of that card. That's not too hard. I'm going to have the Wink of Stella out on the table as usual, so if you want to add some Winky to that, you can. Let's just Winky the flowers. I probably should have done this before I put the pearls on, but I just thought of it. And if you do this as right after stamping, the mint macaron ink will run a bit, and then you'll get flowers that are colored in. If you wait till it dries, then you don't have that. I'm thinking I need a dimensional under that corner too. I'm just kind of anal that way, but then I'm anal a lot of ways. So in September we have two ladies who want to join us, and I sent out an email to see what people thought about letting them join in, and everyone so graciously has said sure. So they're going to join us starting September, and that means that the club will be extended for a couple of months. But if you are in the current club and you don't want it to extend, get in touch with me and we'll talk about it. Okay, there you go. And I put a little bit of, see if you can see it, a little bit of Wink of Stella on there. All right, now the inside and the envelope. Let's just get these little bits out of the way, or they're going to end up staying inside the card. Okay. Oops. I guess it helps if I leave that there so you can see. there's that. And a couple on the envelope. And why not one at the back? Just because I can. Okay, so I'll close that. So we're done with it. And I'll get the marker and I'll do the marker on this one so that you can see what it looks like. When you're doing this, remember to hold your marker this way. Don't hold it this way, because this way you have a tendency to do this, and then you could end up with your marker having issues with the inside piece of your card. So I always hold it this way. I have more control over it, and the pen is more naturally in an up and down, so it doesn't invade the inside. Okay, so there's the inside piece. Look at this. Even my tape is, oh my good Lord. After being home for a couple of days, I should be right back in the swing of things, but these are the first projects I wanted to get done since getting home from China Creek yesterday. We had such an amazing time out there at China Creek camping with our local grandchildren and their parents. Our son, Phil, has never caught a salmon in the whole bunch of years that he's been alive. So he was whining and sniveling about not having ever caught a salmon. So he has now caught a salmon. So he'll stop whining about it. And we're going over there tonight to have a salmon barbecue and share in his hatchings. I don't like salmon, so yeah, I'll probably be taking myself a hot dog or something, because I am not eating salmon. Just does not happen. Okay, so ink is in there, Wink Estella's in there, markers are in there. There's sample number 1, sample number 2. So there's the difference between the two of them. One is a hot dog and one is a hamburger. Works both ways. And I'll put the stamp set in there so we know which one it is. This I have to cut another piece for. And there we are. We're done. The first card using the Floral Frames stamp set and matching dies. So if you want to order that, it's in the annual catalog. Oh, I'll get it out here. Check out my bundles. And it's called Floral Frames on page 135. So if you want one of these indexes or bundle lists for your catalog, let me know. I will email it to you. Okay, page 135, stamp set and coordinating dies. Clear mount $59.25, wood mount $68.25. All right, ladies, thanks. And that's the end of this one. And then the next one will be the next card. Why do I say stuff like that? It's redundant. You know it'll be the next card. Bye. Thanks for watching.